I just felt like, he just one of these little arrogant little dudes that's, using what he got to shield him.
So when people, what I got from that is he's a hater. You don't know me as a person. Let's say you don't like me. You don't know me.
Boxing is strictly for a check now. It's just all about getting a check. They're going to be fake fighting. They're going to probably fake fight 12 rounds.
Terence Crawford has criticized Gervonta Davis in a live interview after new rigging allegations. Moreover, Bud is stating he doesn't like Tank and believes Davis hides behind his power and fame. Crawford suggested that Davis uses his influence to protect his status, even going as far as fixing fights and influencing decisions to maintain his position in boxing.
Tank said I was a meat lover. He came in like, "Oh, this guy, you a meat lover."
But Tank would never even think about hesitating to come up to 154.
All right, what about 47 though?
Yes, if he get to pick his opponent. If Tank get to pick his opponent, he would do it. But Tank would never come from 35 to 54.
Y'all got into it on social media around that time. Y'all was doing the back and forth. Is that just you being competitive, like when that happens? Or is it like...
I just really don't like that dude.
Why though?
Cause I just don't like him. Like I really don't like him. I don't like.
Just not your cup of tea. That's just not your.
I don't like nothing about him. No, I don't like nothing about him. I just felt like he just one of these little arrogant little dudes that's using what he got to shield him. Like he got a lot of security guards around him, and he know, he in the limelight and stuff like that. But in certain situations, he wouldn't be acting like that.
Do you like him as a fighter though?
Yeah, he's a damn good fighter.
Yeah,
I respect him as a fighter.
Yeah,
he definitely got skills. He got power. He got tremendous boxing ability. But like his core personality and his ways, nah.
Terence Crawford mocked Gervonta Davis, challenging his credibility. As a true fighter, he stated that Davis truly dares to be great, he should step up and fight him. Crawford's remarks questioned Davis's willingness to take on tough opponents, implying that he avoids real challenges to protect his record.
Gervonta Davis speaking about you. Is that ever a possible fight?
Yeah, if he want to dare to be great, he can be like all the other fighters that's moving up 2 weight classes and, daring to be great.
You a fighter.
Man, tell him to come up there.
He got to come to win 54.
He said I got a glass chin, so tell him to come and touch it.
Wow. Gervonta said you got a glass.
He said I got a glass chin. Tell him to come and touch it.
At 147?
At 147. I'll make 147.
Ooh, see, oh man. You're gonna have a pre-camp.
Then what the people gonna say? Oh, he's beating up on little guys.
Terence Crawford expressed his frustration on social media, stating they robbed that boy, and it's crazy. His reaction underscores the widespread controversy surrounding the fight's outcome and the growing belief that Lamont Roach Jr. was unfairly denied victory. Many fans and analysts share Crawford's sentiment, arguing that the judging and officiating favored Gervonta Davis despite questionable moments in the fight. The decision has fueled ongoing debates about corruption in boxing and the influence of big-name fighters. Crawford's statement reflects a broader frustration with the sport's integrity and the perception that Roach was unfairly treated. Dan Davis responded to Terence Crawford's criticism by dismissing him as a hater. Davis questioned how Crawford could make such strong statements about him without knowing him personally. He expressed frustration over Crawford's remarks, suggesting that they were baseless and unfair. Davis implied that people often judge.
So when people, what I got from that is he's a hater. You don't know me as a person. Let's say you don't like me. Like, you don't know me. Like, you feel me? And I don't give a everybody in the crew, what?
Same question for you. Proud father.
Controversial outcome of the Lamont Roach vs. Von Davis fight. Many fans have expressed deep disappointment, claiming that boxing no longer feels like a legitimate sport. Many believe that fights are now rigged, particularly high-profile ones involving big names like Gervonta, where the outcome appears predetermined. Critics argue that the entire 12-round match was manipulated and Davis knew the result before stepping into the ring. This belief has led to serious backlash, with fans questioning the credibility of boxing as a whole. See This Is Why. Interview. Criticism against Gervonta is that he actively avoids facing top-tier opponents who can truly challenge him. Many claim that Davis picks his fights, ensuring that he only competes against opponents he knows he can beat. This has been evident in his reluctance to grant a rematch to Ryan Garcia, dodge a potential fight with Terence Crawford by avoiding fighters who could expose his weaknesses. Davis is accused of manipulating his career to maintain an undefeated record rather than proving himself against elite competition. So Vaughn. Interview. By claiming he had grease in his eyes preventing him from seeing clearly. However, boxing experts quickly dismissed this excuse, stating that if Davis had such an issue, he should have alerted the referee before the round started. Instead, Davis chose to take a knee in the middle of the round, which goes against official boxing protocol. The experts emphasize that in a professional fight, a boxer, the world of professional boxing is no stranger to drama, but Gervonta Tank Davis's recent claim that grease from his opponent's face impaired his vision during a fight has ignited a fiery debate about accountability, sportsmanship, and adherence to the sport's regulations. While Davis attributed his mid-round decision to take a knee to this alleged issue, boxing authorities and analysts have rebuked his explanation, calling it a violation of standard protocols. The incident has raised questions not only about Davis's actions, but also about the broader culture of responsibility in combat sports. The incident and Davis's defense. During a critical moment in the fight, Davis unexpectedly took a knee, prompting the referee to administer a standing 8 count. While taking a knee is not uncommon in boxing, often used to recover from a damaging blow, Davis's justification stood out. He claimed that grease applied to his opponent's face had migrated into his eyes, blurring his vision. In boxing, cornermen legally apply petroleum jelly, Vaseline, to a fighter's face to minimize cuts and abrasions. However, excessive grease is prohibited, as it can interfere with an opponent's ability to land clean punches. If a fighter suspects foul play, protocols mandate they notify the referee immediately to address the issue. Experts dismiss the excuse. Prominent figures in boxing swiftly criticized Davis's explanation. Veteran referee Kenny Bayless emphasized, "Fighters know the rules. If there's an issue with grease, you don't wait until you're in the middle of a round to react. You call it out the moment you notice it." By failing to alert the referee before or during the round, Davis bypassed the established procedure, rendering his post-fight defense questionable. Analysts like ESPN's Tim Bradley noted that Davis's decision to take a knee, instead of signaling the referee, appeared strategic. Taking a knee stops the momentum of the fight. It's a way to reset, but it's not a substitute for following protocol, Bradley argued. The problem with mid-round adjustments. Boxing's unified rules are clear. A fighter cannot voluntarily go down without being struck by a legal blow. While referees have discretion in enforcing penalties, Davis's action risked a deduction of points or even disqualification. More critically, his choice to address the grease issue retroactively, rather than in real time, undermines the transparency the sport demands. "This isn't just about rules. It's about respect for the craft," said trainer Andre Rogier. "If every fighter paused the fight for unverified excuses, chaos would follow." Tactical gamesmanship or genuine concern? Skeptics suggest Davis's move was less about grease and more about regaining composure. Taking a knee allows a fighter to catch their breath, disrupt an opponent's rhythm, or even manipulate judges' scoring. However, using a safety-related excuse after the fact blurs the line between gamesmanship and dishonesty. Boxing historian Mike Silver noted, "Historically, great fighters adapt. They don't create loopholes. If your vision is compromised, you speak up. You don't invent an exit strategy mid-fight." Implications for the sport. The controversy highlights a recurring issue in boxing: inconsistent enforcement of rules and a lack of athlete accountability. While referees monitor for fouls, like excessive grease, they rely on fighters to voice concerns promptly. Davis's delayed explanation exposes a loophole that could be exploited by others. To combat this, commissions may need to impose stricter penalties for protocol violations, such as point deductions or fines, to deter similar behavior. Conclusion: Gervonta Davis remains one of boxing's most electrifying talents, but this incident casts a shadow over his professionalism. Boxing's integrity relies on athletes adhering to its code of conduct, both in victory and adversity. While the chaos of a fight can cloud judgment, the rules exist to protect the sport's legitimacy. Davis's failure to follow procedure, whether tactical or accidental, serves as a cautionary tale. For boxing to maintain its credibility, fighters must prioritize transparency, and regulators must ensure accountability. After all, in a sport where split-second decisions define legacies, how one navigates adversity matters just as much as the outcome.